Research specialists Frost and Sullivan are predicting that the GCC's share of cloud computing is set to a record high of growth of 29% year on year. Now, this year's GITEX discussion has once more been focused around the adoption of cloud. Ahmad Elkhatib is managing partner of IT specialist Shifra, and he's with us in the studio this evening. Ahmed, good to see you again.
Hello.
Do you think this year's GITEX is currently meeting expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like GITEX has always been, it's bigger, better every year, and it's a platform for us to show our technology for companies from around the Middle East and Africa region.
So, I mean, let's talk about the global cloud market, expected to reach $241 billion by the year 2020, which is an incredible amount of money. You know, what are the expectations for that share of it here in the UAE?
The UAE, being part of that global economy, is going to be adopting the cloud, as researchers has been looking, it's been at 30–40% growth in the UAE too. So we're seeing more adoption of the cloud in the UAE and in the wider region.
What about what are the main drivers at the moment of cloud computing? Is it the business sector, or is it the personal market of PCs?
Of course, the adoption of cloud computing on the personal area has been faster, but companies are looking at it. The main driver for cloud computing has always been cost effectiveness and efficiency, but we're seeing that there is an increase in uptake for cloud computing for ease of use, for mobility of employees, accessibility wherever they are. So it's going beyond efficiency and cost effectiveness.
So really it's this incredible growth we're seeing in mobile technology which is spurring the cloud computing on.
Exactly. I mean, every one of us is holding 3–4 devices and want to access our company applications the way we access our personal applications.
What about the security issues? Because obviously there's this concern, particularly for companies, that when their private information is up on the cloud, it's going to be jeopardized.
Yeah, that's the main, I'd say, stumbling block against the adoption of cloud computing, be it on the personal or corporate level. The security is a very important part of cloud computing, and the main driver here is encryption. So we look at encryption technologies where we can encrypt data so that it can be securely stored, and also moving cloud computing providers from depending on ones in Europe and in the US to local providers would make a huge difference in the trust factor of the cloud computing available today.
So in a sense, cloud computing has moved on. I mean, since our last conversation when we spoke about it just over a year ago here on Emirates News, it was at that infancy in a sense. Now it really is developing, isn't it, to a necessity?
Yes, I think that in the next few years you'll find that the majority of businesses will have some sort of cloud computing in their infrastructure, and that maybe a hybrid model where you can mix and match between cloud computing and the traditional IT will be in place in some form or the other.
Ahmed, just one final question. Is this a replacement for backing up data?
Yes, it's a easier, more secure, more reliable way to back up your data. However, it doesn't have to be the only way. So you can always have, as I said, a hybrid method of doing it on site and in the cloud.
Ahmad Elkhatib, many thanks again for your time.